Hi, if you're new here, welcome. Horror is basically my entire fucking personality. I've watched thousands of horror movies. I'm completely desensitized at this point, but these are the ones in my life that have scared the absolute shit out of me. Horror is subjective, so if you're about to get in my comments and be like, that wasn't scary, kindly fuck off. If you ask me what is the horror movie that has scared you the most in your life, I think I would have to say Grave Encounters. I watched this movie for the first time when I was 16 years old. And that night I sat in my bed with all my lights on. I did not fucking sleep. This has since become a comfort movie for me because it has a very special place in my heart for scaring me that badly. But the fear I felt the first time I watched this movie is a high I have been chasing ever since. Hell House LLC, though, did get pretty close to giving me that high. I am 28 years old. I watched this movie for the first time probably 2 years ago, and I had to sleep with my fucking lights on. And again, I've been watching horror my whole life. That does not happen to me. I've watched this movie a lot of times since, and I absolutely love it, but that first time was like nothing else. There are a few movies, though, that still make me really uneasy, and The Possession from 2012 is one of them. I watched this movie in theaters when it came out, and I damn near shit my fucking pants. There are certain scenes and images from this movie that I can't get out of my head still to this day. There have been 3 times in my life where I have physically screamed in a movie theater. The first time that ever happened was when I saw Case 39 in 2009 when it came out. And this is another one that to this day, this movie still freaks me the fuck out. Anything with creepy, demonic children, no fucking thank you. When Signs came out, I was 7 years old, and my parents took me to the theater to see it. And this movie, specifically the alien coming out from behind the bush, literally changed my fucking brain chemistry. To this day, just hearing the theme music to this movie does something to me physiologically. And aliens are actually my biggest fear ever because of how much this movie affected me. And this is one that, again, I still don't like to watch alone. The first time I watched Devil is another experience that I just wish I could relive. This movie makes you feel so claustrophobic, and then that reveal is so shocking and fucking terrifying. This is another one, I haven't watched this in a while, but I feel like if I did, it would genuinely still freak me out. Ganjim Haunted Asylum is a Korean found footage movie that is very similar to Grave Encounters, so I automatically loved it. And even though I watched this movie way later in life than I did Grave Encounters, it still freaked me the fuck out. I actually have only watched this movie once. I want to revisit it, but I'm a little scared. The second movie that ever made me scream out loud in the theater was The Conjuring. This movie came out when I was 18 years old, and I had to go home from the theater and sleep with my mom. But I loved that feeling of fear so much that I went back 3 more times to watch it in the theater. This is another one that's very much a comfort movie for me now, but I wish I could relive that first time I saw it. And the third time I ever screamed in the theater, also part of the Conjuring universe, Annabelle Creation. I feel like people sleep on this movie for some reason. I'm not sure why. This movie did scare the shit out of me the first time I saw it. And finally, I have to give a shout out to another movie that traumatized me in my childhood. One of my favorite horror movies of all time, but that first time I saw it as a kid, the scene absolutely decimated me.